2. What is up, what is up, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Monday, happy Monday. How's everybody doing today? What is up, what is up, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Can you guys hear me well? Hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and get started today. I'm going to teach you today the importance of goal setting, a task that you have to implement at all times, okay? At all times, a task you have to implement on the daily basis in order to elevate. Then, we're going to cover some Twitter, all right? We're going to cover some Twitter, and then we're going to wrap it up with showing you a consulting company I've been doing some research on that has some crazy power, So I want to show that to you. But before we go ahead and get started, ladies and gentlemen, where are you joining us from? I don't care if you mentioned it on Saturday. I don't care if you mentioned it on Friday. Where are you joining us from today? We got Amsterdam in the house. We got Toronto. We got Canada. This stream will come in clutch for Canada. Because a lot of Canadians out there, they see all the red flags, right? They see all the red flags that China is putting their way. You know, they freeze bank accounts, they don't let you protest. Now they're taking your guns. They're putting you in quarantine camps. The guy studied, right? Trudeau studied, or was a young business leader for the World Economic Forum. So China is going south, and it's going south very fast. So if you're Canadian and you're not worried, right, that you will not have freedom in the upcoming years, as I've been predicting, especially specifically with Canada, you are in trouble. So, I mean, America has its issues, but at least we're not in Canada's situation. Canada's kind of fucked up. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get started. We got Indiana, we got South Africa, Singapore, Italia, Chicago, Georgia. Is that Georgia the country or Georgia the state? We got New Zealand, we got Curaçao, we got NYC, we got California, the Dominican, Florida, Nigeria. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, a couple announcements before we go ahead and get started. We, as you guys know, the Capital Club Mastermind in Albania, we sold out, but we were able to get 6 more villas, right? Most of those spots already filled up. We have 5 spots left for the Albania Mastermind. The VIPs are sold out, but if you want a regular ticket to the Capital Club EU Mastermind, the first one ever done, right? 5 days, all inclusive, in a resort in Albania, overlooking the beautiful Adriatic Sea. Nice warm September. If you're interested, slide in my DMs at Luke Belmar on Instagram. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to teach you today in a very basic way, because I know you guys hear it all the time, and I know you guys see it all the time, but I want to break it down. Now, I'm not going to zoom it in because it's not necessary for you to understand the example. But right here, there's something called a calendar. Now, some of you guys have never heard of a calendar because you're on somebody else's calendar. The only calendar you're on is a 9 to 5 clock in, clock out calendar. But you don't take control of your time. You don't take control of your hours. It's extremely important that you do. The reason it's important is because you need to be able to track your progress throughout your day. Not only are you in need, right, to track your progress, but you need to set your goals. I highly recommend when you guys wake up in the morning, and I see billionaires talk about this, and it's very true. And maybe you do it the night before and then you revise it that morning. Is you need to set your goals and your intentions for the day. I tweeted about this. I tweeted about it at Luke Belmar on Twitter, and I mentioned the idea, the importance of goal setting. It doesn't matter if you're the captain of a ship. It doesn't matter if you're going to war, you're playing the the Super Bowl, right? It doesn't matter what you're doing. You need goals. And most people walk around in life with no goals, right? They walk around as accidents. They wake up and they're like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do today. Well, you didn't spend 10 minutes sitting down with no distractions and focus on what is my goal and what are the steps I need to do to get there. You need to be able to crystallize those steps into daily tasks. You need to be able to categorize those steps into daily tasks. It's extremely important. Now, before we continue, we've got 168 people in the lobby. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button. And let's talk about why goal setting is so important, right? The reason goal setting is important, and it's fundamental to your success, is because people are forgetful. And your list of tasks shouldn't be seen as a list of chores, but as a list of deliverables in order for you to accomplish your goal. So they are the required ingredients in the recipe to success, right? That you are writing down and that you are following, right? You want a six-pack, you know that every single day your recipe, right? Your ingredients to acquire that product, that end result, you need to be able to write them down, right? And people are like, oh yeah, but that's basic information. Everybody knows that, but not everybody does it. That's why it's important to be reminded. Everybody wants these complex guru bullshit views around the world and about the world, but it's very straightforward. You can keep the universe broken down into a few fundamental principles, right? And the fundamental principle is the fundamental principle of sowing and reaping, right? So you know the outcome. That's the beauty of life, is you know the outcome of certain formulas, right? And even though they may be tweaked to your personal perspective or not, it's still important for you to understand, right, that the choices that you make every single day, especially if you control them, will result in a specific outcome. Now, the reason this is important to know is because it's not only empowering, but it also contributes to your ability to live life in an intentional way, right? And life is a life that's lived freely when it's lived with intentionality, because you get to make decisions on your life, right? And that's, I know that's a foreign concept to a lot of people, right? Your ability to do whatever the fuck that you want to do. But you can start doing that, right? You can start doing that on a regular basis, and your life is going to change. So if for the next 10 days, right, you can commit to very simple principle. You get your notepad, like I have mine right there, and for the next 10 days, depending on whatever your goal is, right, you write out your list of deliverables for that day in order to accomplish that task. Okay, well, I need to go on a juice fast because I'm overweight. Okay, perfect. My diet is X, Y, and Z. My habit is X, Y, and Z throughout these 10 days, and I'm gonna write them down like a checklist, and I'm gonna check each one of those motherfuckers off every time I complete it. Today on my to-do list I have three things left on my to-do list, right? So as soon as I get done my stream, I have stuff to do, right? Because in order to get to my goal, you know, my default would be, well, okay, let me chill for the rest of the night, let me vibe. But when I know that I gotta get stuff done, right? Because it's guaranteed that if I do these things and I do them in this order, I will obtain a specific result. It is inevitable, right? It is a foundational law of the universe that you can count on consistently, always and forever. So this should, to you guys, be encouraging, right? This should be encouraging because now you have the power to take action. And most people, they complain, well, I don't have enough time, you know, I don't have enough resources, I don't have, whatever it is. You can create time when you limit your tasks and you know specifically what you want to do. Now, this is the first step. But now that we understand that task building is essential, right? That task building is essential. Now, what type of task should you make, right? What type of task list should you create? W in the chat and like. Once we get to 150 likes, I'm going to show you my task list and my formula, okay? My formula for keeping highly successful schedules and highly successful goal setting and goal acquisition, goal results. Hit the like button, hit the W, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching this pre-recorded, hit the W in the chat. Costs you nothing. But I'm gonna open up a Figma board and I'm gonna show you guys how this works. Now, I'm not gonna, until we get to 150 likes, I'm not gonna show you guys because a lot of you guys are slacking. You're slacking. I'm going to show you guys the way that you need to set up tasks every single day in a way where you remove all sort of bias, all sort of emotion from your equation, okay? And you're going to elevate. All right. Hit the like button or you're slacking, motherfuckers. Anthony, let me know exactly when we hit 150. We got 150, chat? All right, good. Let me go ahead and screen share here. Okay, can you guys see this? So I'm going to teach you guys how to create, and I learned this many years ago from a very successful entrepreneur by the name of Mark. So give credit where credit is due. Mark is an OG in the digital marketing space. So I'm going to give him credit because he deserves it. But I'm going to teach you guys how to set up the perfect tasks, right? The perfect task so that you can conquer your day every single day with ease and perfection. Are you guys ready? I'm going to teach you guys. This is crazy. You guys aren't ready though. You guys aren't ready. I need 1 second here to prep this, okay? Give me 1 second, let me prep this. I'm about to show you guys, it's gonna be so crazy, bro. By the time you leave today, you're gonna be like, dude, I'm empowered as fuck to get to my goals. So let me get this set up here. Okay. You guys ready? Anyways, for the guys entering the chat, guys, I'm about to show you, ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate productivity checklist. Not only am I telling you the importance of checklists and goal setting for your day, but I'm giving you the exact formula that I use. I wasn't planning on giving this to you guys, but I woke up in a good mood, so I'm gonna show it to you. All right, so let me get rid of the music because it's distracting me. Okay, perfect. So let's get serious. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and talk about the importance of goal setting. Now, we talked about the importance of goal setting because you need direction, right? But now it's how do you goal set? How do you goal set? Let's call it. I call it my my mastery checklist. This is what I call my ability, like my to-do list. I call it my mastery checklist, right? Because it's not a to-do list. It's my checklist to accomplish mastery, right? So right off the bat, you know, my mindset and my lingo isn't that of doing. It's becoming a master, enjoying the process, the sweet kind of gratification of consistently consistently elevating yourself, right? And the way that you do it is with mastering something. It's just mastering something. So let's get started here. Okay, perfect. So let's say I got my to-do list for the day. You know, for some people it'll be different, but something that's important for me, for example, is one that's important for me, right, is working out. Okay, so let's set up. Give me a couple to-do list things, guys, on my to-do list last for the day, and I'll explain the example to you guys. So let's say we got reading. We'll read every day. It's essential. What else do we have? We have, let's say I have a business call. Then I have a client call, right? It's a different one. Okay, because all of this it'll be very much contingent on your day to day, and that's the beauty of this formula that I'm about to show you guys. It's really crazy. Let's do another one. Let's do because it'll hit home to a lot of people. Check ads, right? That's a good one. And then let's see if we can do another one. Okay. Perfect. Any other task? What other tasks should I put? E-com, journaling, managing stores. Okay, so let's do fulfill orders. Okay, let's do a concept, a scenario that we have fulfill orders. Okay. This is our list of things that we need to accomplish for today. This is the list of things that we need to accomplish for today. Okay, so and when you wake up on a regular basis, if you're an entrepreneur, right, and then something that you should do every single day, highly recommended, is you got to check your balances every single day. You got to be checking your balances. Now, people don't like checking their balances, but you need to know what you're worth. I recommend doing that every single day or every other day. Super important. All right, so here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things on our to-do list. Okay, so we're going to attribute to each one of these 2 numbers. The first one, right, is we're going to assign a number based off of difficulty to this task, and then we're going to assign a number based on importance. And then we're going to do a little bit of math, and we're going to see what pops out on the other end, and I'm going to explain it to you guys. So the goal is to do the task with the highest level of added numbers, right, first. So working out, ladies and gentlemen, that is from 1 to 10, right? 1 being difficult, 10 being extremely easy. What is your ability to work out? What is your ability to work out? The difficulty of it. I would say for most people, it's easy for them to work out, right? They just have to get on with their day, go to the gym. Perfect. Importance of working out. Let's say it's a Tuesday, you're not crazy busy, right? That specific day. Let's say the importance is a 10 for sure. That one's always there. Then we have reading. What's the importance of reading? Let's just say it's a 5, right? The difficulty of it depends on what you're reading, but a solid 5, okay? If you're reading some intelligent books. The importance of reading, we're going to give it based on the day because we got a business call, we got client calls, and we got to check ads. I'm going to give it an 8, okay? I have my business call, right? It's my team call every single morning that happens at 9 o'clock per se, every single day. The difficulty of the call is not difficult whatsoever, okay? My ability to accomplish this task, right? The importance of it, let's say it's a 10. Then we have our client call, okay? Same thing, client call, 10. Let's say the importance of the call, not really important. It's not massively important. It's just a general checkup. So you say done. 7. Check ads. Difficulty of it, it might get convoluted. It might require some time. I'm gonna give it a 5. Okay. And then the importance of it, your ads are steady. We'll give it an 8. Whatever. Fulfill orders. You're backlogged on orders, ladies and gentlemen. You are backlogged on orders. The ease of fulfilling those is a 3. It's not very easy. You're having massive logistic problems, but it's extremely important. right? Extremely important to get that out of the way. Now, I like to get the most important, the easiest tasks accomplished first that require very little time but have massive importance and that accomplish a very important difficulty. Now we have checking balances, right? It's important, but difficulty, it's a 10, right? It's not very difficult. And then the importance of it is a 2, right? It's even though it's important, we can get it done. All right, so here we got 12. Here we got 13. 13. 17. 20. 13. 20. Perfect. So our goal is to accomplish the tasks, right? The tasks with the highest number first, because this is based off of my importance. This is based off of my importance, okay? So the first thing I'm going to accomplish in my day, based off of my chart of importance, working out. Next thing, business call. Next thing, and this is how I'm setting my day, right? So my day, my checklist is I'm doing this in this specific order, and I don't move on to the next task unless the task that's done before is accomplished, right? So the next thing I'm going to do is my client call. We got tons of 13s here, so I'll go the business route first, right? I'll fulfill orders, I'll check ads, I'll read, and then I'll check my balances, right? So what I've done right now I've removed emotion and the feeling of wanting and not wanting to do something, and I've left it completely up to what? My rule set. My rule set dictates my operating system. Okay, so it's no longer, you writing shit on the checklist and you're like, well, I'm gonna go do this one because this one's easier, or you know what, I don't feel like doing this one, I'm gonna come back and doing it afterwards. So what you're doing now is you're saying, I commit to this task list in this specific order based off of the level of difficulty and the level of importance. I combine both of those, and I have a successful metric on how I'm supposed to live every single day. And this will change even the same tasks, right? Like working out one day may be less important to you than another day. Does that make sense? Guys, I'm giving you guys the fucking sauce here. I'm teaching you guys how to think like successful individuals. Everybody tells you, go make a checklist. But they don't teach you how to make a checklist. There's ways to make checklists that are more successful and yield higher results than other ways, right? So the importance of understanding this principle will set you light years ahead of your competition, because it's going to let you operate with no bias. You know what needs to get done, and you just fucking do it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you check to see if your day is successful. W in the chat if you guys enjoyed that. Give me a little bit of credit, because I know you guys aren't learning this out there. There's nobody teaching this. There's 0 people teaching this that I know of. And I wasn't thinking about teaching it, but I just decided to teach it because I'm going to teach you guys everything. So it's a very basic concept that if you understand it and you apply it, it's going to let you win. So to recap, you do not have checklists. You have mastery lists. You have the list of mastering things on a day-to-day basis, right? So you are no longer doing things, you are mastering things. You no longer do things, you master things. And mastery is the consistent art of pursuing a greater potential and a greater possibility. Doing something, right? A to-do is something slaves think, right? It's, oh, I gotta do this. I have to do this. This is part of my to-do list. No, I'm on my ability to master this specific task or this specific skill set or this specific thing. And in order to become a master, I must do this, and this in this order, and I do not cheat. This is an uncheatable checklist. It's your mastery checklist. It's your ability to dictate something based off of difficulty and importance. Based off of difficulty and importance. So this is your ability to remove all sort of bias in your tasks. And if you can remove bias in your tasks and actually do your tasks, now you're on fucking autopilot mode. Why? Because you did the thinking, you did the preparation ahead of time, and you're like, okay, I know I need to do this, this, and this, in this order, this order, this order, this order, and eventually it'll yield this result. It is proven. It is proven. So, this is your your mastery checklist, ladies and gentlemen. Take note of it every single day. Print it, right? Print this right here. Let me remove myself. I'll let you take a screenshot of it. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second right here. Let me remove this. And I'll let you guys take a screenshot of it. Doesn't seem to let me click. Here. All right, take a screenshot of this, ladies and gentlemen. Oops. Let me remove myself. There you go. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is your mastery checklist. Take that and act accordingly. Now, why am I giving you this information? Why is it important? You know, a lot of people say, Luke, teach me how to make money. I am teaching you how to make money. I'm teaching you how to utilize your time in a way that is meaningful. In a way that it's meaningful. Somebody said remove chat. Hang on, let me remove the chat real quick. I saw that as well. There you go. All right, there you go, guys. Glad you took the screenshot. And your life is going to become a lot more valuable. So difficulty, right? And you can set the math whatever way you want it to be, but you set it by difficulty or by ease, depending on which metric you want to use, right? Difficulty or ease. That's your difficulty to accomplish the task, right? So for example, let's say one of my to-do tasks for the day is I need to fix the motor in my car, and I have to get the car towed, and I have all this bullshit, and I have to go buy this oil, and I have to go buy the screw and this specific thing, right? And it gets complicated and convoluted. It's going to be really difficult, right? But if I don't have to take the car out for 2 weeks, then the level of importance is low. Like it's a level, yeah, sure, it's important, but it's not that important. I have something else more important that day, like making sure my business is operating smoothly, right? So what this does is it's going to eliminate distractions. It's going to eliminate bullshit. A lot of you guys, and I say this to a lot of my either employees or business partners about their business plans, is they avoid the ability to make fucking money, right? They avoid acting fast. They avoid being held accountable by a checklist. Guys, you need to understand the importance of self-discipline when it comes to business. Your mama ain't fucking mentoring you. Your dad isn't looking over your shoulder to see if you're doing your shit. Your teacher, your boss doesn't exist. When you are the owner of your business, you have to learn how to become disciplined. You have to learn how to become a man and a woman that has self-integrity. And self-integrity is when you tell yourself something, you don't scam yourself out of your ability to do something. If you told yourself, I'm going to do this, you understand from a preliminary perspective that it's going to be full of bullshit, but that you've committed to the experience automatically. So a lot of you guys are cheating yourself. Oh, you half work out. You half do your sales calls. You half do your videos. You don't do it the right way. So what this list is going to do, and we call it the mastery checklist, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to give you the ability to manage your list of your to-dos every single day with intentionality, with purpose, and with a high result of efficacy for your results. So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is your little business session. So tomorrow, when you wake up, or tonight, before you go to bed, I am expecting checklist. I am expecting checklists from you. It is a non-negotiable to your success. Non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. So I've given it to you guys in a way that's very simple. Break it down into like 6 tasks a day. Don't come here acting all fucking fancy and make a task list of 19 tasks. My job right there for today was to accomplish 6 tasks. That's it. 6 of them. Now I have 3 left, and I can't go to fucking bed until all 3 of those tasks are done. And if I leave it for the last minute, too bad. I need to fucking finish it because I committed to finishing it. You have enough time in your day, plenty of time in your day, ladies and gentlemen, to accomplish these things. And what you're going to see in the long term is a word called improvement. It's a word that a lot of you guys are not familiar with because you don't track it. You are not familiar with your improvement because you do not track your improvement. If you tracked your improvement, you would be able to see how far you've come and continue to be encouraged, right, at your progress. But you want the same you want the same encouragement, but you don't want to track the data that's giving you the real metrics when your mind is full of bullshit and convoluted doubt about your future and about how far you've come. This task list, right, your ability to track your performance every single day and be consistently winning is what matters. Because you go to the gym, right? And let's say you buy a fucking dog, bro. You look at that dog grow every single day, but you don't realize how fast it's actually growing unless you track it, right? Like photos, or you track it with weight in some way, shape, or form. It's beyond you. It goes beyond you, right? Really quickly. It goes over your head because you're used to it. Same thing happens with your own progress and your own dedication and your own results. If you do not track them, right? If you do not have a checklist for your mastery, then how are you supposed to continue encouraging yourself when the self-doubt comes in, when I'm not doing as well as I'm supposed to? Well, what you're doing is what you said you were going to do. What you promised yourself you're going to do. I was literally thinking today, I was sitting outside and I was like, damn, I don't want to stream. Guys, I'm sitting on tens of millions. I was like, damn, I don't want to stream. And a thought came into my head that said, it doesn't matter if you want to stream or not. It doesn't fucking matter if you want to stream. You're going to stream. And the reason you're going to stream and you're going to give it 110% is because you understand that in order to get to the end goal, the end result, the end outcome, which is to build Capital Club into becoming the largest decentralized entrepreneurial network on planet Earth, that this is something that is required and necessary as the task list of mastery in order to get there. So it doesn't matter how I feel. What matters is, did I do what I wanted to do regardless of how I felt at the moment? And I promise you, when you get done doing your task, when you get done accomplishing your goal, you're going to feel good about it. I have never heard of an individual that has gone to the gym not wanting to go to the gym and leaves that next morning after that session and was like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't come. No, every time that people get up out of their beds and they're like, you know what, I'm going to go regardless of, I'm going to go. I always hear them say, it was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it. It was always worth it. Because hard things in life, even though they're difficult, they are worth doing. The hard things in life are worth doing. Being consistent is hard, but it's worth doing. Having integrity is hard, but it's worth doing. Showing up with a good attitude and performing and giving it your best is difficult, but it's important. It's necessary. It's required to shape you into who you are meant to be. So, for the people that are joining us, we are talking about your mastery checklist. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you share this, right, with your friends. This is a very simple video that you can share with your friends to start helping them understand how to live life in a more optimized way. In an optimized way. So difficulty, you're going to set up your tasks, and then you're going to measure them by level of difficulty, by level of importance. Then you're going to add them up, and then you're going to basically tally it. Does everybody know exactly how this is done, or do I have to re-explain it one more time? Is it clear? And then tomorrow, we're going to have Mr. Belmar on stream teaching you guys how to get those fucking gains. We're going to be talking about diet. It's going to be extremely important, so make sure that you tune in tomorrow for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get started with our second part right here. I hope this was a W for you guys. You know, once I saw people teach me this principle on how to make a list, not just making lists, but how to make it, it changed the entire game for me. People are out here making lists. You're out here understanding how to make lists and making them, bro. Levels. Levels, levels, levels. Okay, so let's keep it positive. I was gonna put some gruesome stuff. But anyways, I want to talk about a company that I've been researching. Once we hit 225 likes, once we hit 250 likes, I will go ahead and talk about once we hit 250 likes, I'm going to go ahead and change topics. So hit the like button. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so today I brought a second cup of water. Oh, somebody said we're at 270? Fuck it. We're going to 300. I'm not checking, guys. I ain't checking that shit. I'm sorry. Let's put that at 300. And we're going to talk about a little consulting company. All right? And I've been doing some research on them because it's a name that keeps showing up over and over and over again. Right? The name keeps showing up over and over again. It's a company called McKinsey & Company, and it's a consulting firm that consults for 80 to 90% of the top 100 companies in the world, right? And they do all sorts of consulting and super data analytic driven. They only bring the top people of society to come work for them. Most of them don't even have a business degree. You know, have people from completely different backgrounds. And I started doing some research on this company. And I'm going to do the research with you guys. So I haven't seen some of these videos that I've pulled up. I haven't seen any of it. But are you guys down to go down the rabbit trail with me on this one? Because if you guys are down to go down the rabbit trail with me on this one, we're going to watch this shit together. And then I'm going to do some more recon. You guys can send it to me as well. And we can synergize with content back and forth, and you can share it with me. So when the Discord opens this week, at the end of this week, I'm going to create a room for you guys to be able to submit stuff for me. All right, perfect. So let's watch this shit.
This is Emmanuel Macron on the night of April 24th, 2022. He's at Paris's iconic Field of Mars, right in front of the even more iconic Eiffel Tower. The crowd gathered in front of him, chanting his name and waving flags, is on cloud 9 because not 30 minutes ago, the national broadcast announced that Macron had been re-elected to the French presidency for 5 more years. And even though he was always preferred to win, if you rewind the clock just 2 months back, things didn't look so good for the sitting president. 2 months ago, the scandal since dubbed McKinsey-gate started making its way through the French press. If you've never heard of McKinsey-gate, don't worry. It's very simple, and we don't need to go back very far to understand it. In early March of 2022, the French Senate conducted an investigation into the finances of Macron's executive branch. They were looking for something fishy following leaks.
Guaranteed it's consulting fees, bro. Watch the bribes be consulting fees.
In the press about the government relying a bit too much on consultants, and lo and behold, they found what they were looking for. Right there in the budget of the Élysée, France's presidential palace, They found a nearly €1 billion bill from various consulting groups racked up in just 1 year. I don't need to tell you that €1 billion is a massive amount. Think of it like $1 billion. Does that help? No? Alternatively, you can think of it as 200 times what the French government spent promoting equality between men and women. Anyway.
Laundering, bro. What?
The report found that one firm in particular, McKinsey & Company, seemed to be getting the lion's share of the presidential wallet, and may have been benefiting from favoritism. Furthermore,
tax dollars there?
The Senate alleges that McKinsey's French branch hasn't paid a single cent in corporate taxes during the past 10 years, despite making a cool €330 million on French soil. First lucrative government funding, then missing taxes. The whole thing seemed a bit weird. As a 100% impartial journalist, I should tell you that McKinsey denies the tax avoidance allegations, so you can make of that whatever you want. In any case, that's not the point. Macron's been dragging this reputation of president of the rich ever since he took office. And now, all of France just found out that he spent a Bezos-like amount of public money on a few private cabinets well known for their place in high society. What's more, these consulting firms were given big responsibilities, like orchestrating the national strategy on COVID vaccinations and setting climate change plans for the future.
I told you it's all a scam. All of it. Setting up COVID plans, getting paid billions of dollars to set up COVID plans, bro. Shit's amazing.
Firms were given big responsibilities, like orchestrating the national...
They outsourced this whole pandemic, they outsourced it to private companies. They printed money, public money, and then they distributed it to private companies. They
strategy on COVID vaccinations and setting climate change plans for the future. Not exactly a small ask for just a few private firms. If you're the guy in charge, you couldn't ask for worse timing for a scandal like this. With barely over a month until the first round of elections, Macron's response had to be immediate and authoritative.
S'il y a des preuves de
guaranteed he's gonna say that it's all bullshit.
manipulation, que ça aille au pénal. Ensuite, moi je demande qu'on nous donne aussi de la profondeur. Comment depuis 15 ans, les contrats avec les consultants ont évolué? Je suis pas persuadé que sous ce quinquennat, il y a eu moins de contrats que sous certains autres, y compris de celles et ceux qui
Macron's
nous
position is clear.
Macron's position is clear. We are less criminal than the last criminals.
All of this is perfectly legal, and not just that, it's nothing special. After all, previous administrations used consultants too. Why should he be the one to deprive himself of that privilege? The subtext here being that not only is this not a big deal, it's being made into one to try to make him lose the upcoming election. But as you might expect from this channel, not only is Macron's argument that, well, he did it too, pretty weak when you're trying not to look guilty, he's wrong. This is kind of a big deal. McKinsey-gate, and I hate that name by the way, can we just stop adding gate to scandals? McKinsey-gate
Recon on McKenzie-gate, ladies and gentlemen. I need to find out what the fuck's happening.
highlighted something deeper within our society that extends far beyond the walls of the French presidential palace. Specifically, who are these people we call consultants, and why are they so influential? The place to start is to determine whether consultants are really that influential at all. And why not let them answer that question in a completely neutral way?
For example, you probably know us for our work in strategy and finance. But what you may not know is that we're helping all industry sectors cut carbon emissions by
Bro, they're in on it. They're in on the whole thing. They're in on the whole thing. Mackenzie's in on the whole thing. They're in on the whole thing. They're in on the whole thing. They're in it with the World Economic Forum. I knew it. I knew it. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. I knew it. I knew it. Look at this. They're all in bed. They're all in bed. Every single last one of them. Mackenzie and the World Economic Forum. Here we go. War in Ukraine. Nice. 2030 agenda. Damn, bro. Who are you? I don't know. I'll do some research on you later. But they're all in bed together, ladies and gentlemen. It's all the same bullshit. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. You're controlled. You're manipulated. Just get used to it. At this point, it's undeniable. At this point, it's undeniable. Cut emissions by 2030. It sounds really World Economic Forum-y. Sounds very World Economic Forum. No wonder they're probably influencing governments to pass Agenda 2030 and the whole nonsensical bullshit with carbon credits in the Paris Accord Agreement. Guaranteed they have their hands in that shit.
Half by 2030 and to reach net zero by 2050.
We've completed more than 1,600 COVID-related projects.
Bitch! Shut up!
Zero by 2050.
We've completed more than 1,600 COVID-related projects in more than
Shut the
60
fuck up.
countries, published 500 articles, and hosted 800 webinars to help safeguard lives and livelihoods.
Replace this with the word indoctrinate. Replace
Navigate the
safeguard.
pandemic
Exactly.
and shape the next normal.
Look at this.
Lives and
I'm
livelihoods.
gonna say it again. I'm gonna
Navigate
say it
the
again. I
pandemic.
don't care that you're
1,500
Indian.
By
I don't care that you're Indian.
We've completed
Bitch!
more than 1,600 COVID-related projects in more than 60 countries, published 500 articles, and hosted 800 webinars to help safeguard lives and livelihoods, navigate the pandemic, and shape the next.
What is the next normal? What is the next normal? The next normal is you're gonna get fucking jabbed, boosted in the ass 24/7. You're gonna get PCR tests through your butthole like they're doing in China now. This is McKinsey and Company partnering with the World Economic Forum to control every aspect of your existence, ladies and gentlemen. That is a fact.
Normal.
Our purpose is to help create positive, enduring change in the world.
I've emboldened our colleagues to be ambitious and find ways we can double our current rate of innovation.
So,
That's a great video, but we have to pause here for a second. Double the innovation? That's gotta be at least like 5 times the creativity, right? Or like 10 times the amount of disruptive, revolutionary paradigm shifts in equivalent units. How did they do that? Anyway,
No clue.
of course consulting companies are going to say they're influential. Otherwise, why would you hire them? But you might still want to, I don't know, not take everything consulting companies say at face value. After all, during McKinsey-gate, a lot of the discourse in France focused on the pointlessness of some of these expensive contracts. One contract in particular got a lot of press. A project by the
Watch it be a bullshit ass, super expensive consulting contract that the government paid. That was just absolute ass. Watch it.
Boston Consulting Group to organize a conference that never happened and never got rescheduled. Absolutely nothing happened,
And
and
they
it cost
paid for
France
it.
over $500,000.
Bro, scamming! Straight scamming your tax dollars. Like a fucking vacuum, just absorbing every penny of your existence, every single penny that you have, just laundering it. Laundering the government funds, baby. Right in front of your face because you're stupid.
€1,000. But that example, as ridiculous as it is more of a red herring than anything else. Consultants really did have a lot of influence in French politics for the past few years.
No shit.
Take housing assistance. In January of 2021, the French government announced it would reform its housing assistance program, supposedly in need of, quote, modernization. What did modernization look like? 30% of state fund recipients saw their assistance shrink. Another 6% got cut off entirely. Processing delays went from 1 month to 3 under the new, more technical system. In short, several 100,000 French people in poverty were put into an even more difficult situation than they were in before. And behind it all,
So
a
it didn't
€4
work.
million check made out to the consulting cabinet, McKinsey and Company. But don't worry, thanks to McKinsey's advice, the state saved nearly €4 billion. Yay! How did they do it? By following McKinsey's incredible tip to cut off the poor and dump them on charity's lap. Truly revolutionary stuff.
Nice.
But that's not the only place where consulting cabinets were involved. According to the French
Oh, look at them. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy that literally everybody has the same symbols on everything? Isn't it crazy that everybody has all the same symbols? It's so weird. Like, shit's just like hella connected. Let me find that. Like I know the double snake is popular, bro, but there has to be some sort of background on this shit, dude. There has to be some background on this. I'll do some research. I'll let you guys know. I interrupted, my bad. I'm just curious why everything looks the same.
Senate report, consulting cabinets were involved in most big reforms made by the Macron government. Consultants orchestrated the management of the COVID vaccination campaign, intervened in the reform of unemployment insurance, of vocational training, legal aid, and in the health system. Consulting services are used from the
private companies are the ones consulting and doing all the data analytics and collection of information and then consulting on it to governments. Bro, look at this bitch, bro. She look at her eyes, bro. Look at her eyes. This is the woman out here creating your fucking recipes, bro. She's looking at two at the same time like a chameleon.
The top of the government all the way down to road speed radars, which the state has deferred the responsibility of managing to Soprasteria and EGIS, two more consulting firms, at a cost of 82 million euros.
Fuck, bro. $82 million, bro, to consult for a government agency, bro.
When you take the time to look, it turns out you can find the fingerprints of this or that consulting firm at every level, down to even the most basic functions of the state. Still, you might be tempted to ask whether this is a problem. People are people. Somebody was going to have to take care of it. Why does it matter that it's consultants? And that's not a bad question. But the problem with all this is that consultants don't operate on the same incentives and logic as civil servants. Consulting firms, since they're private industries, operate on the logic of businesses and profit. The author, journalist, and, as it turns out, former McKinsey consultant Anand Giridharadas writes about the way consulting works in his book Winners Take All. Here he is describing how consulting firms present themselves and the messages that they communicate. McKinsey, like Goldman, had a persuasive story to tell. It was a place where you could change the world, improve lives, invent something new, solve...
McKinsey, like Goldman Sachs, a criminal organization known for funneling billions of dollars, hosting criminal syndicates, bank accounts, and manipulating the equities markets. Yes, McKinsey, like Goldman, right, had a persuasive story to tell.
Solve a complex problem. But these firms were in fact channeling a widespread dogma of the market as the place for world changing and of market types as ideal world changers. Consulting firms exist to deliver a central message, that change is the exclusive domain of the private sector, that governments might have good intentions, but that markets are
Governments do not have good intentions. Governments are just vehicles used by people.
more effective, more efficient, and more capable of bringing about any desirable outcome, including social justice. This message that's at the core of consulting firms, and more broadly neoliberalism, suggests that governments should therefore try to act like the private sector, to adopt its logic and its methods, or downright outsource responsibilities if they really want to make good on their promises. In other words, if they want to work, governments have to start acting like startups. And to do that, they have to hire consultants to show them how.
Bro, crazy. Crazy! Can somebody check how much money the US has spent on consulting? Let's see. Let's see what it says. Consulting service industry. Let's see here. Can somebody pull how much the government spent? How much the government spent in consulting? Let me see. I found some information here. Okay, check this one out. Even these agencies running ads. Somebody look up this company, Mentor Media. Mentor Media. 1 billion in campaign ad buys. More recently, playing 245 million in ad spend. So let's say they were taking the 10%, 15% fee on the ad spend. They're making 25 million bucks on that. I think I heard about one of these agencies, but I'm very curious to find out how much money comes through them, because guaranteed the lobbying is just probably fucking insane. It's insane. If you guys want me to research stuff, I'm definitely down to research a ton of stuff. What I will do is open up the Discord this upcoming week and create a section where you guys can send me that information, and I'm gonna do my due diligence. So make sure that you get that to me when we open up the Discord. Let's continue with this video.
The problem is that consulting firms don't typically end up delivering on the promise of efficient social justice for one key reason. Profit and social justice don't mix. According to consultants, you can always find a win-win solution that satisfies both the good thing you're trying to do and helps your bottom line. You can always do well by doing good, but the reality is you can't. But consulting firms try to sell it like this: capitalism is in crisis. People are wary of big business and blame it for the major social, economic, and environmental problems they face. Businesses are accused of profiting at the general public's expense, and the public's not wrong. But we, consultants, we can fix businesses and society at the same time. We can align businesses and their immediate goals of profit.
Yeah, because imagine you go to the private sector and your clients are the private sector, but then also the public sector. You're like, well, guys, let's just come to the table real quick and like, let's discuss how we can compromise and how we can all get rich real quick. We'll fuck the small guy over, but you know, I'll give you some subsidies, right? I'll give the banks, I'll give the government some subsidies. You guys can trade fucking Nvidia stock like Nancy Pelosi. You guys can do that a little bit earlier, but then, you know, we're just gonna play the cards the way that we want to. Fucking finessers, bro.
Profit with social responsibility. Consulting can help get rid of outdated methods of value creation that hurt the image of the capitalist economy today. Basically, if you're a business owner, don't worry, the consultants are here, and we're going to rehabilitate capitalism. And that's not me, JT from Second Thought, saying that. That's Michael Porter and Mark Kramer, two consulting firm founders writing in the Harvard Business Review.
In case you want to pull that article up, I'm going to actually pull that up. I'm going to dissect it and let you guys know what I hear tomorrow when I read it. Okay, let's go back.
In practice, this works about as well as you can imagine. Consulting firms don't rehabilitate capitalism as much as they give it more room to breathe. When they work with governments, as in France, they are there to dismantle the state apparatus bit by bit, make things like poverty the private sector's problem, pawn people off on charity because when you want to run the government like a business, it's just good business sense to cut down on your expenses. But it doesn't end there. When they work with other private firms, consultants are there to serve as a tool for executives to wield against their workers, to formalize the power dynamics inherent to capitalism. Consultants, expensive, flashy, and well-regarded, pump out reports that outline how the best thing for a company to do, the most profitable thing, is to disregard workers and their demands for higher wages, better benefits, and work conditions. No, see, our report says the best thing to do is to make incremental reforms and make sure workers feel valued, without giving them a nickel more, of course.
We know how these reports are made, huh? It's all for fucking bottom line, bro. It's crazy.
And hey, because they're experts and did the research, consultants are infinitely more legitimate than a handful of workers, coming up with ideas themselves, discussing them together, and uniting for better working conditions. That's not very scientific after all. And it turns out the science commissioned by your managers says capitalism was the best way to go all along, so we'll just listen to that and you can stop with all the unionizing stuff. If this sounds far-fetched to you, look no further than a McKinsey report from September 2021 published amid fears of the Great Resignation, in which the consulting firm alleges that employees crave investment in the human aspect of work. More than pay, benefits, or perks, workers want to, quote, feel valued. The report was accompanied by this chart. plotting the importance for employees of health.
Sorry guys, I'm gonna read this. So the most important thing to an employee is a work-life balance. Look at the difficult chart. Look at the bullshit chart to explain to somebody that the most important thing for an employee's work-life balance, bro. This shit's amazing.
Health and compensation, somewhat or less important, alongside their having a sense of belonging and feeling valued. Very important, according to the report. These
Bro, tell me you can't generate this report. Give me 100 racks, bro. I'll walk around your office. I'll tell you all the problems your office has. Valued by organization, work-life balance, sense of belonging, and health is important to them. Like, look at all the generic bullshit stuff that they put forth in front of you. It's insane.
reports tell executives to, quote, listen to their people. Just listen to your people. But never to the point of actually letting them decide anything themselves. And certainly not when their demands start getting in the way of your bottom line. And this isn't some cherry-picked example. Anti-union consulting is a rampant problem. Companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and IKEA are hiring all sorts of consulting firms with less publicly recognized names to tamp down unions or any sort of labor power. A study by the Economic Policy Institute estimates that American employers spend roughly $340 million annually on union avoidance consultants, using a wide range of legal and...
My problem with unions, though, is you know, if a company's really, really big and they're not public, then they should be unionized, but in some way, shape, or form. But at the end of the day, all you're doing is moving the power chain somewhere else. If you look at Al Capone, you know what Al Capone did, the way that he took over was he would just go to different businesses, unionize them, put them all together into labor forces, and then go after the businesses, right? So he would own the unions. So in and of themselves, whatever idea he's going to propose is probably going to his worldview, so...
And their employers contribute more towards these plans. They are also more likely to have paid vacation and sick leave. Union workers are more likely to have retirement.
Okay. Anyway, so there we got union workers. But the point is, McKinsey, ladies and gentlemen, I need to do some more research on McKinsey and this consulting company that runs the world. But I'm going to continue it tomorrow. I have 2 videos on McKinsey that I want to share with you guys. They had some crazy, their hands were fucking dirty with this opioid epidemic that nobody's talking about. They had to pay over $500 million in settlements. $500 million. McKinsey had to pay over $500 million in settlements in 2021 because of the opioid epidemic. So if you don't think that companies are out here causing harm intentionally because they'll pay $500 million in fucking penalties and net $4 billion, then you must be out of your mind. All these major companies, look at the fees and the fines Chase Bank has gotten for manipulating the gold and silver market. They're massive. But as long as their profit is more than the expense, right, or the fee that you get for doing bad business and being corrupt, then it doesn't really matter. Ladies and gentlemen, that was your stream of the day. If you have not hit the like button right now, motherfucker. If you're watching this on a replay, because you will, and you've come to the end of the stream, hit the comment button. I'm going to hit refresh when I end the stream. It's going to be about 30 seconds. You're going to wait. Then you're going to hit refresh, and you're going to comment. You're going to comment because I'm on here every fucking day giving you guys game. Mula said, almost 15K. You were at 1K a month ago. Yeah, guys, congrats to everybody on the channel. We are at 15K subs or some shit like that. I gave you guys some serious alpha. All right. For the people that didn't see it, let me pull it real quick here. This is your mastery checklist. You're going to start quantifying your tasks of the day by difficulty and importance, adding them up, and then you will have your mastery checklist from 1 to whatever your end number is. So make sure that you start utilizing and creating that. When we tune in tomorrow, guys, when we tune in tomorrow, I want you guys to let me know if you made your mastery checklist. If you haven't, feel free to not fucking show up. Make that fucking mastery checklist. I'm not here to just give you guys information for you guys not fucking do anything with it. Do something with it. Do something with the value that's provided. There's so much information on the internet. There's so much value packed in it online. It's the easiest it's ever been to become wealthy. The easiest it's ever been to become wealthy. And it's up to you to capitalize on that opportunity and on you alone. We live in the richest country that's ever existed since the beginning of mankind. And if you aren't getting rich, then the problem is you. The problem ain't the fucking system. The problem ain't because people are getting rich on it. The problem is you. So ask yourself, what skill sets, what knowledge do I not have that I need to continue developing and acquiring in order to get to my goals, in order to reach my fullest potential? So with that being said, love you guys, appreciate you, have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys here tomorrow, and I hope that you leave better today than the way that you came. So with that being said, have a wonderful day, guys. Appreciate you. Make sure you hit the comment section as soon as I'm done here.